Hello and welcome to another episode of Pony 411. This is episode 248 for the week of January 6th, 2019. Happy New Year, by the way.
Yay.
I am Nemesis, and I'm joined by that yay over here as Alcatraz.
Yay.
Yes, Alcatraz, the yay machine. Don't be Fluttershy. He's too quiet.
No.
Too quiet for podcasting. Wouldn't work very well.
I'm not a Fluttershy.
Anyway, yep. Been an eventful 2 week. Last week's, Christmas and New Year's happened for both of us, so that whole thing.
Well, I think New Year's happened for everyone.
You know,
Christmas is only for those who celebrate it.
China celebrates New Year's in a little bit later.
Right, China does have a different New Year's, but a lot of people have New Year's.
Yeah. I saw Spider-Verse. That was actually pretty darn great.
I still need to see that.
Yeah, I wound up going and seeing on a whim.
It
was a good whim. It was a very good whim.
A good whim. And
another news, Equestria didn't always have bathrooms before adopting Griffin plumbing methods back when ponies just relieved themselves where they stood and unicorns vanished the evidence.
Oh, geez, that whole thing. Thank you, J.K. Rowling. That whole thing.
That is amazing.
That is that our new January meme? Is that the new 2019
I don't know.
January meme?
I have no idea, but it's just I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I'm just endless entertainment out of this one. And then apparently this is something someone said this. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but apparently the whole vanishing spell is not taught until 4th year out of 7.
Whoops.
So you can think about this: the first 3 years
are pretty bad.
Oh man. Anyway, imagine if Lauren Faust is doing this.
Well, Lauren Faust did say that Pegasus poop floats, so
I'm just saying, is she actually seriously just dropping random canon nonsense on us? It's like,
Well, she did way back when, like season 2, 3.
Like
she was
way
just
afterwards,
randomly dropping stuff.
Done.
Yeah,
just keep adding random nonsense, not even hinted at.
Yeah,
that's just increasingly disturbing.
But
anyway, that was the big thing that just happened.
Yeah. One of the things that's been happening, yes. People finally looked through Twitter's brand recommendations and requirements and decided to abuse them. Whole tweet fur thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. But we probably should move on to the actual podcast stuff. We do have a little tiny bit of news. The discussion point, we're once again going back to season 1, and we have some fan content at the end of the episode. But anyway, if you want to follow along the news, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. Again, it's spelled LABSYN. If you want to, click links and get more info. So we're going to go ahead and start with convention stuff. HasCon 2019 has been postponed. Yeah. Some people are taking this because often postponed means canceled, but they're not going to say canceled.
Yeah,
because it was
indefinitely postponed.
Because what's going on is this is probably related to the whole thing of Hasbro's thinking about moving their headquarters.
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like literally like it's from one town in Rhode Island to a different town in Rhode Island, like literally 10 miles away.
Just pick up the whole headquarters and put it over there.
In which way that might affect where they have HasCon, if they do have one, wind up having one, because this is supposed to be in September. Who knows what's going to happen now?
Yeah.
Of course, there's some conspiracy theories. Oh, it's Hasbro. That means HasCon 2017 was a failure. No, HasCon 2017 was actually pretty successful.
Yeah, that's what I was reading too.
But anyway, something happened. And HarmonyCon has announced Tony Fleece, the comic artist. That's the one in Dallas.
Yeah. The Nightmare Knights replacement, essentially.
And BabsCon has announced Maurice LaMarche, Tony Fleece, and Sarah Richards.
Hey, Maurice.
Yeah.
And not artists. Maurice is not an artist. Maurice is a voice actor.
A voice artist.
Yes, voice artists.
Yes, that's a big get, actually.
Yes, that is a huge one. Because he's not just like a voice actor who only really does Pony. No.
He's done a lot of things.
He does a lot.
It's like Tara Strong. He's
Exactly.
done a lot of things. They're actually good friends. Surprise, surprise.
Yes.
One of his other famous roles, of course, is The Brain.
The Brain. That's probably one of the ones that
he's done a
everyone's...
lot of stuff, particularly but all those old Warner Brothers cartoons from the 90s.
Yep.
And fandom news and whatnot. A compilation album with State of Sugar Ice Cream is out.
This is pretty good. Might hear a sampling Later.
Gee, I wonder why. And Pony Age Chronicles, a 2D MMO, is now out.
Yeah, that's a fairly old one.
Yeah, it just popped up.
That finally was released.
Yeah, it's been in development for a long time, and it's 2D isometric thing.
Yep.
And Notes from Magic has released in beta form. This is the Guitar Hero clone thing.
Right.
It does support my Guitar Hero controller, so that's that.
I'm wondering what they build it on.
I think it's Flash. It is a beta, so the stuff might change, but it's a little rough right now. And I think it's only like 7 songs right now too.
Yeah, looks like it's Flash.
Yeah, I remember it is literally just built in Flash. They said as such.
Yep, it's an SWF file, so yeah, it's a Flash file. I'm seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, just a word of warning. I personally prefer Clone Hero for anything.
Yeah, I keep wanting to get into that. Download it, but I haven't spent the time setting it up.
And anyway, moving on from there, merchandise news. Images of upcoming toys have appeared, including the fashion style ponies and the Pinkie Pie Equestria Girls figure that comes with the pony. Which, interesting enough, Pinkie's wearing a shirt with her own picture on it.
That does kind of sound like something Pinkie would do.
Well, Equestria Girls Pinkie with a picture of Pony Pinkie on there, which creates all sorts of questions.
Well, I mean, there was that one blooper thing.
I remember, but that's not canon.
Yeah, well, I guess neither are the dolls, or we have some really interesting characters.
Yeah.
Like Princess Sky... Was it Skyla?
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, that thing.
That thing.
Anyway, moving on from that. Cherry is now a Build-A-Bear. In the US and Australia, she's available.
Hey.
Cherry. And she also comes with this dress if you want.
Cheerily.
Cherry.
Cheerily.
Cherry.
Cheerily.
Chair.
Give you the chair.
And I'm the table. And ponies can now come in chocolate eggs.
So you can choke on them.
Yeah. And there's apparently something called finders keepers. They're pony toys and eggs. This is how ponies are born. It is confirmed.
In eggs.
Yep. Chocolate eggs.
Ponies come from that.
This explains everything.
That makes so much sense. A world of rainbows and sparkles. Ponies are born from chocolate eggs.
And they eat rainbows and poop butterflies.
Yep.
And that's the news.
That's it.
Yeah, not a lot. Told you. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to once again a season 1 episode. Yes, I know we're doing a lot of those, but that's just
we gotta try and get through them all.
We're trying to get all the episodes talked about at some point. We're actually gonna talk about Over a Barrel. So real quick, what happened? Well, the main 6 are going to Appaloosa to drop off Applejack's tree Bloomberg because they have an apple orchard. And then Buffalo come to the train and steal Bloomberg and Spike. And then, it turns out, Spike is there and everything's fine. Appaloosas are kind of upset because the Buffalo are doing stuff. And then the Buffaloes are upset because the Appaloosans put the trees right where, on the Buffalo's land. They're pretty upset at each other. They try to fix things and it works. They fight for a while. And then it turns out the Buffalo like the Appaloosan pies, and then they come to a compromise, and they're allowed to keep the field, but they run through and exchange for the pies, and that's it. This episode is
thing.
There's things about this. There's a lot to talk about in this one, I think.
Yeah.
To start things off, this is a weird thing because this episode is the one episode of the entire show that really touches on the topic of colonialism.
Yeah.
And doesn't totally do it well, I'm going to be honest.
It could have been better.
And the big thing here, this is probably going to be where the most of the discussion is going to be for this episode, is simply, the Appaloosans just kind of squatted on the Buffalo's land and then got upset when the Buffalo complained about it, basically.
Yep, basically.
That's very familiar sounding.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing is, that's the thing, is the bunch of ponies just came to this area, decided it's okay to just build a town here, and ignored the natives who are already here and use the land.
Yep.
And I think what really bothers me a bit is that it mirrors too much of what happened in real life, but kind of prettified.
Yeah, it's like, it's one thing to mirror an event,
to make a point.
In order to make a point and to really show it, but when you mirror it and then you don't do it justice.
Yeah, they're whitewashing it, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Because the thing is, the buffalo are on the right.
Yeah.
It was their land, and the ponies just showed up and just claimed it as theirs.
Yep.
Didn't ask.
Planted a flag, said it was theirs.
Yeah. Just like the Europeans.
Yep. It's colonialism.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, the whole thing is like, oh, they got to compromise. Like, no, the Appalachians need to leave. It's not theirs.
The Appalachians should only say if the buffalo agreed.
Let them.
If the buffalo let them. And said, yes, we'll let you say. Which, I mean, if that's what if that's how it started, then that would be fine. But that's not how it started.
Yeah, it's pretty clear they just decided to settle there and then planted a bunch of trees and then...
Yeah, like if they showed up with apple pies and met the buffalo, and the buffalo went, hey, we like what you have, you can build a town over here, that would be okay. But no, they built the town first.
And on top of that, it even kind of mirrors the whole thing of like, well, giving the natives a raw deal and pretending like it's good for them.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, we're going to... Okay, well, how about we just stay here and we'll just give you some pies and you don't complain anymore.
Yeah. As long as
we'll just take all your land and you just get some pies in exchange.
Just as long as they don't start lacing those pies with disease.
Yeah. And
which is what happened.
Yeah.
Here's a whole bunch of blankets. Some of them were purposefully laced, some of them weren't, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's one thing. Of course, here's some pretty things. We'll give them to you for your land.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course, there's also the good old, this wasn't in there, but the good old make a deal and then back out on it. And then
we don't know if they backed out or not. They didn't show that.
Or keep altering the deal.
Yep.
And then wondering why they're getting upset over this. And then just straight up genocide, I mean.
Yeah.
But, getting a little heavy here. But yeah, it's
a little bit. Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's the problem. It's just kind of it's a part of a systematic attempt of just raw media just kind of saying it's okay, everything's fine. We worked it out.
Yeah, it's like I see what they were going for. They're going for a certain moral, and they use a story which would have sort of fit the moral, but the fact that they didn't really do it justice kind of makes it worse.
The backdrop is
when you deal with such an important topic and use in such an important situation, you really need to really do it well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least the one thing they did right was they at least worked with a native consultant at the very least.
Yeah, it's like, I see what they were going for, and that what they were going for isn't bad. It's just not enough, and miss some important aspects that end up making other things worse. It's not intentional. There's nothing intentionally wrong here, but sometimes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah, the big thing here is just simply like the idea that the people who are wronged need to compromise with aggressors.
Well, the people who are in the right need to compromise with those who are originally
the people
wrong.
Who are wronged.
Yeah, wronged. I thought you said the people who were wrong.
Wronged.
Yeah.
Need to compromise with the aggressors.
Not really, no. The aggressors need to back off.
And that's a big thing here. It's like, and yeah, it just normalizes this idea that the colonial.
It
just kind of makes it.
It doesn't say that happy. What colonialism has been is okay, but it says a lighter form of it is okay.
I know that it's a heavy topic in general for a children's show, just this whole thing we're talking about. But at the same time, it's like if this is too heavy for a children's show, then you probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know that's not the intention. The problem is just they bought into the lie.
Sort of, yeah. It's like I can see they were trying to make it better.
A lot of us have bought into the lie, and then kind of like, oh wait, that's actually it was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, because a lot of us weren't ever taught the whole story.
The story was because they're trying to make everything look good.
Yeah,
it's fine.
They gloss over a lot of the horrible things that happened.
Yeah, like Trail of Tears is a footnote.
Yep. Like that shouldn't be a footnote. That's rather important.
Yeah, other screwing. Like we're going to forcibly relocate you.
Yeah, that. Force them into reservations.
Mm.
All because they think they're better.
Yeah, it's not great. And so yeah, it's just kind of this weird thing, because what's interesting is, in a way, that it's from the pony's perspective, largely. So, particularly the main sixes, who were just kind of innocently not really thinking about what's going on here.
Yeah.
They just see two sides fighting, and this needs to stop.
Yeah, everyone. Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is just really kind of a frustrating thing. I'm not even sure this sort of stuff really popped up, because I know way back when this episode wasn't super well received.
Most of that was because of the song.
Yeah, it was largely the song, but I think it wasn't just the song, but this sort of thing didn't really factor into it. But it's like, this is the thing that, you don't really think about it until like, someone, and then when it does, it just gnaws at you.
Yeah.
So I thought about this, like, yeah, I got to talk about this some way. Hey, I have a podcast to talk about. What do you know?
Hey, we have a platform.
It's just really, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't entirely blame the show staff for this.
No, I don't blame them. Like I said, I know they had no bad intentions.
Because I know, like, particularly Canada still has a really nasty problem with racism toward Native Americans. The native, what they call what do they refer to them up there? They don't call them Native Americans up in Canada. They call them the indigenous.
The indigenous peoples, which is a generic term for just those who are.
But anyway, so because Native Americans, because the continent of America. Yeah. Americas.
Yeah. Indigenous peoples is the generic term for the entire world.
I think first. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
First world.
Not first world. First something.
First peoples.
Something like that.
First peoples, First peoples of Canada.
Anyway, Canada has a huge problem with this one particular. Yeah. I know that's because like people, I think of Canada as like kind of a generally better
everyone's
place.
Happy and friendly,
but it's still pretty bad if you're a native and you live in Canada, it can be pretty bad for you.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those. A lot of white people have bought into the idea that everything's been settled and fine, and we solved all this. And
because we're taught not to think about it, and that it's a thing of the past.
And because we said sorry and gave them a bit of money, it's all fine, okay now.
Yep.
And that's kind of what it is. It's just kind of,
I didn't do anything.
And that's what's they had this land. It's pretty clearly important to them. They use it for their big old stampede.
Yeah, it's sacred land to them.
Yeah, and we're gonna plant some trees on it.
We're just gonna plant some trees here.
It didn't help that Applejack and Rainbow Dash both kind of stick their noses in and start arguing on behalf of them, and because it seemed like there's at least going to be some civil talking until the two of them just
even Brayburn Brayburn looked like he was ready to figure out because Brayburn had no idea at first. And I mean, some of that can be excusable. They just
came along and started attacking us. We don't understand.
Yeah, you show up in a place and you think it's completely empty, and you go, "Hey, it's empty. We can sell here." And then someone else shows up. I mean,
someone else has already been there. You just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, when they didn't know, there's some of that's understandable. But and Brayburn looked like he was ready to, I don't know what's going on. Let's talk.
Brayburn and Tongar both looked like they're ready to talk, and then Ash and Applejack both decided to talk over them.
Yep.
Exacerbate the issue.
Yep. And then Pinky.
Yeah, Pinky made it even worse because she sang a terrible song.
Terrible song.
You gotta share. That was also another weird thing when people talk about. It was kind of a weird thing. Did you imagine My Little Pony would ever have a burlesque show? Nope.
Yeah. And then I think it was last year someone made that plush of Pinky in that outfit, and it was just like,
oh no.
Oh geez, because it was fairly detailed. It's like
it was in the show.
I know. It's like, I commend your craftsmanship, but woof.
Yeah, so we're going to start, I guess, moving away from my big, huge problem, just that normalizing colonialism.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got it, because that's a lot right there. And so I could probably talk about that for quite a while, but we got to have other things to talk about, like this Bloomberg, the tree being babied by Applejack, which is kind of strange.
It was kind of weird.
Getting a whole car just for the tree.
The whole
even though there's plenty of room for another bed or something, more beds, so they don't know.
Nope. Bloomberg gets their own tree.
Until Spike intrudes. The origin of "I'd like to be a tree."
Yep, it was the origin of that for Fluttershy.
Because Fluttershy's not a tree, right?
Fluttershy.
It's important to me that you know this.
It's called sarcasm. And then there was the whole. One other thing I remember, it was a big thing for a bit. The train was being pulled by a fleet of ponies.
Yeah, which is strange.
Which is weird.
And they kind of later retconned that, and now it's just a normal train.
Yeah, they retconned.
Because my understanding was that was a result of, I recall I heard about this. That was a result of a miscommunication. It was supposed to be just ponies pulling a bunch of train cars, but somehow the train engine got in.
Yeah.
Which, that's still a weird thing in of itself. This ponies pulling train cars, it just feels weird and wrong. And
well, we have the horse-drawn carriages.
Yeah.
And the horse-drawn carriages.
That's kind of more of a joke.
That was a joke, but yes.
But it's just, okay, but we do see that the ponies pull other ponies along, which, okay, sure.
Sure.
It's more, I guess it's equivalent of a taxi cab driver.
Yeah.
But this one was just, I think this one that it's, the generally accepted theory is like why this one train is like this is just, it broke.
It broke.
And they had to pull it.
Yep.
It's like, okay, sure, I guess that's the only way you can really reconcile it with the rest of the canon.
Yeah.
Where there's just trains.
Trains.
No.
How?
Don't you dare. I know what you're thinking.
I like singing.
Don't. Yeah, there's some little thing that this was Little Strongheart's first appearance and Brayburn's first appearance, and
like almost only.
Yeah, Strongheart's only appearance, and Brayburn showed up in that Trouble Shoes, whichever episode that was. I can't remember. That was a season 4 or 5.
Yeah, not asking for
Shoes.
trouble. Is that what's the name of the episode?
I think it was called that. Yeah, it was Trouble Shoes. I remember that he showed up in there and. That was his last appearance, as far as I know. I remember with Brayburn, there was that weird thing like they had a voice actor and then another voice actor for him.
It was completely different.
I can't remember which one was which, but they had a voice actor and then had another voice actor. And for a while, one of the voice actors thought he did the voice of Brayburn, and then they played a clip and that's not my voice. And it turns out it was miscredited for a long time because they swapped or something for whatever reason. Oh yeah, it was weird. Weird is like, we had a very cartoonish like impact with Rainbow Dash hitting the railroad sign, and then actually that had a long-term consequence.
It popped up for a little bit later,
and then just kind of disappeared again.
Yeah,
she just like kept getting like headaches, and yeah, which is interesting. Usually when you get that sort of cartoon thing, it just the effects like maybe last for a minute,
if
that,
and then everything's fine.
The other thing is kind of weird, just like the whole like the way they the buffalo treats Spike.
Yeah,
it's kind of it also plays a little bit into the weird, I guess, the savages treating the that sort of thing. It kind of plays into that a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, you could look at it in a couple different ways. Like, I mean, they're just really hospitable.
Yeah. It's supposed to be. They cleared up as like it's hospitable because but it just reminds me of those things where like, oh look, the savage tribe is treating the outside white men as gods.
Oh jeez.
Which it has kind of a basis in real what happened, but again, using that like there's like
yeah.
So it's that's the thing. There's also the weird mush. Like Pinky just ate mush. She didn't know what it was. She just ate it.
Well, that does sound like Pinky.
And then asked for more. She still don't know what it is. But I want more.
Hey, if it's edible, it tastes good.
Yeah.
Apparently, it doesn't smell good, or at least not to Rainbow.
But it's also the weird thing. It's just you have this whole battle with pies. They use pies more or less in lieu of guns. Because we got
you can't have actual guns on
for various reasons, including how would they hold them.
That is a question that has been asked a lot in this fandom, especially when you get into stuff like the Fallout Equestria thing, and we have whole designs that they've made that make it work.
Trying to make the gun thing work with a pony with a hoof.
Yes.
And that's hard, turns out. But yeah, there's that whole climactic battle scene is just kind of weird. Just like they bake pies and then throwing them and then treating it like this horrible, this really sad thing when the chief gets hit. Chief Thunderhooves gets hit by the pie.
It's like a pie.
So it's like he got
Everyone's
shot,
crying like he's dead.
And then he just eats the pie.
He just eats it and not. Oh, this is actually really good. Okay.
The other thing, Pinky screwing things up further. It's like everything looked like it was gonna, calm down. And then she starts singing again.
It's like, nope, can't handle this.
Darn it, Pinky. Go sit in the bad
Pinky
corner.
Not great this episode. Just overall,
Pinky was largely useless.
Worse than. She actually made things worse.
You were actively making everything worse.
She got Rainbow Dash caught. Then she had this song that really set things off. And then the song again, which finalized the war.
Yeah. I remember a bunch of Pinky fans saying, well, look, Pinky, she's just trying to help, and everyone's yelling at her. It's like,
she is trying to help, I get it, but she's doing a really bad job at it.
Oh, yeah, there's a bit with Rarity and her beauty sleep, and oh boy.
Boy.
That's scariness. No! Because they're all talking.
How do you expect to get beauty sleep on a train?
I don't know. It's kind of weird. That's also, that reminds me, how did the buffalo know that Brayburn was in the caboose?
I don't know. That's a very good question. How did they know?
Did they look? I guess they looked in the windows. That's a thing.
I guess.
And how did they know that Brayburn was coming, or that Applejack was coming?
They have a spy.
A spy, huh?
They have a spy.
Pay no attention to the buffalo in the middle of town. Buffaloes are masters of stealth, as we all know. They're big and lumbering, and no one notices them. What was it?
Or maybe they have...
one D&D thing with the orc who, they just shout at them that I'm not here. And that worked.
Hey, when you roll a natural 20, you can do anything.
It was like they dumped all their points in charisma or something because they're an orc, though, it became intimidation. So when they're being stealthy, so they were discovered, they just yell, I'm not here! And that would work.
And everyone just like, okay.
He's not there. There's no orc here.
I don't know, maybe they have someone on the inside.
Oh, a pony trader. Ooh. Or a sympathizer to the buffalo.
A sympathizer, I would say, because really, the buffalo are right.
Thing. It's like, you're Princess Celestia. So with this whole Appaloosa thing, is this sanctioned by the crown? Because if it is, we got things to talk about.
Some things we need to discuss.
Yeah, it's that's a thing for sure.
Yeah, especially when you can figure the apple family orchard was handed to them by royal decree.
Yeah, that was in the middle of an
you get that land.
Remember, that was in the middle of an uninhabited forest, though.
It was. Yeah.
And it was really nearby to land that the sisters did.
So just to make things better on our own sanity, we're just going to assume that was actual equestrian uninhabited land that they already knew. That they
that was the Everfree Forest where the Castle's Two Sisters was.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it was next to it. It was next to the forest.
Yeah. I remember. It was uninhabited. Eventually, they had to cut down trees and stuff. I remember that part. But the only other episode that kind of touched on this at all was really Hearthwarming Eve, and that was kind of weird. It's like they kind of went out of their way to show this place was uninhabited. It's fine.
It's fine. It's actually uninhabited, not just they don't happen to be there right now.
Just like a footnote in the Hearthwarming Eve story. There's this whole race of something or another there, but we made sure they weren't there anymore. Yeah, so it's that's a thing. But no, it's like the thing about this episode, just beyond that, I know a lot of people call it the worst episode of season 1. I can see why. For various reasons, my reasoning's probably a bit different from what it was, but yeah, I just remember it was like generally just people found it boring or with a bad song and weird, and
yeah,
it does have some oddities, and then of course you got Strongheart who never appears again. I think I saw someone try to draw Strongheart is older and more, because she's obviously a small buffalo, so she's gonna grow up into a buffalo, a normal sized buffalo. No. Because I remember that was one of the things was I think Dash and Strongheart shipped a bit.
Yeah.
And so
I think I remember
Strongheart and Brayburn were definitely shipped.
Yep.
And everyone decided Brayburn's gay. And that was that, really.
Decided Brayburn was gay.
Yeah. Everybody's gay for Brayburn.
Yep.
That was just a thing, I guess.
I think there was one particular artist that really enforced that one.
And my favorite joke, though, was in this was actually the Wild West dances, Mild West dances.
Mild West dances.
And also the salt lick.
The salt lick.
Because, that's how basically a horse would get drunk, more or less, is salt licks. Not booze, salt licks.
Salt.
So I was actually impressed. I'm actually kind of surprised that got in, Well,
because kids aren't going to know.
Yeah, but it's still pretty obvious what it's referring to, getting kicked out of a saloon, stumbling and barely coherent. Like, that's pretty obvious what it's referring to. So I'm surprised I actually got in. As it was. Especially, again, season 1. If it's season 2, 4, I'd be like,
Pinky's
okay,
outfit also got in.
Yeah. Or... Yeah, so I'm one of those, like, this is one of those weird things. I guess this must be when Hasbro wasn't really paying attention.
I guess. This one kind of flew under the radar.
Like, yeah, because it's like, I know it's like Hasbro is a little more involved now.
Yes.
For better and worse.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, I think the thing is just this episode's premise is kind of just a little, you gotta share, you gotta care, and that's it. That's the moral.
I mean, in some cases, but this isn't one of them.
That's what Pinky said.
Yeah.
As she helpfully pointed out.
Yes, and then as Twilight reiterated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, sharing and caring is a good thing, but, this is one of those cases where
someone is
not quite that
Someone
simple.
is very clearly in the wrong here, and it's not the buffalo. I mean, that's just kind of the weird thing. It's just like the buffalo kind of get the worst end of the deal. It's like, oh yeah, you guys get to keep our land. It's our land, but you guys get to keep it and grow trees on it, but you'll cut a small path for us to go through, and you'll give us pies in exchange. That, yeah, again, we acknowledge it's your land, but we're going to keep it, and you can live over here in a completely different area.
Yep. Especially when it's, at least where the apple orchard is sacred land.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe they didn't care about the plateau where the town itself was, but the orchard was sacred, so it's just having a path cut through it is kind of a weak deal.
Yeah, it was just generally just that wasn't super well handled.
It wasn't. It could have been handled a lot better.
Anyway, try.
Yeah.
I think it is definitely a weaker episode in season 1. And it's
in
not,
multiple different ways.
Biggest
one is they missed the point.
Yeah, they really
missed the bar on that particular moral story.
Yeah, the whole colonialism thing just kind of whoops. That was a stumble for sure.
Yeah. Good intentions, bad outcome.
Hey, what do you know? Just like Pinky's song.
Yep.
So anyway, I think we can go ahead and move on. There's a lot to say about this that, it's just like, it just missed the mark pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to fan content, which will, of course, kick off with music.
Music, yes. I got 3 songs I want to feature this week, and they are all from the earlier mentioned and recently released A State of Sugar album, the ice cream one. So we will start it off with Intersekt's A Twilight in Time. This is a nice, fun song. It's bouncy, but it's not overwhelmingly bouncy. It's not like super bouncy. It's got really good use of vocal clips, and it's just nice and fun. Kind of mellow with its bounciness, but not too mellow. But yeah, it's fun.
And this song here felt a bit synth-wavy.
Yeah, it's got a bit of that synth. It's got that, a synth-wavy kind of a good flow to it with a nice little beat.
Almost feel like it should be flying down a neon-lit highway.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. Not super fast, not flying down, just a nice cruise down
I don't know. This
highway.
one's actually a lot faster than a lot of the other ones that you do this is much faster paced. This is something you'd hear it feels like something you hear like Outrun or Top Gear. So yeah, fast. Yeah, it's pretty good though. Also, the longest song here too.
Yes, is good. The next one I have is TCB's Powerful and Great. Now this one's sort of similar with the last one in style, except a lot lower and deeper, a lot more bounce to it. And this one's actually sort of a remix of the Equestria Girls one.
Yeah,
it's good. It's fun. And I like the beat and the low that it's got.
Yeah,
very deep.
Often kind of has a weirdly dark-ish and eerie sound to it.
Yes.
And it's also weird because it's like you're adapting the worst song of Rainbow Rocks and doing this well. That's actually kind of impressive.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was the weak link. That was always considered the weakest song in the whole movie.
That's always a fun challenge, is take the worst and make it good.
Take you gotta share, you gotta care, make it good.
They did that. When I was hearing that song, I forgot how bad it was because I just heard the use of clips and stuff in good songs. I was like, oh wow, this really was bad.
Take the Cutie Mark Crusader song and make it good.
I've heard it.
Heard one.
Those are few and far between, but I have heard them.
I've heard one.
Yeah. And the last one I have is ROKII's Powdered Sugar. This is an artist that I haven't actually heard of before. I was pleasantly surprised and had to go quickly subscribe to them so I can keep track of what else they come out with. This one is really bouncy, fun, and happy. A lot more bouncy than the first song. Different style altogether, but I really like it. I really love the melody on this, the higher pitched parts, and it's got this nice uplifting sort of emotion to it. And I do really, really like this one.
Yeah, it's definitely got some bounce to it. And it's like I like some of the sounds they use for it. Like there's one particularly that's got a warble to it. That sounded really good. So that's
all
music.
I got for music. Yep.
Yep, that's music. So I have a fanfic to share with you, and this one is called "One Castle, Two Alicorns" by Equestria-Forever, in which it's an alternate universe, and the evil Twilight from the Mean Six survived somehow because she just did. Now she's kind of shown up, and well, Twilight's kind of taken her in because what else are you gonna do, really? She's kind of known for doing that whole reformation of villains thing. And yeah, so you got this clone, more or less an evil clone of Twilight, just trying to figure her life out.
Survive.
That's survive, figure things out, figure herself out, all that stuff. And that's kind of that weird, there's kind of some introspective stuff in this and whatnot. And I kind of like that. It's only about 20,000 words, so it's actually not very long. The chapters themselves are actually all pretty short. Yeah, I can't really go too much farther than that, really. There's a lot in there that I just like I guess, this new evil Twilight, so-called evil Twilight, kind of figuring herself out, like, the whole, I'm a clone. Does that mean I have to be exactly like the original? Do I, finding herself, all that stuff.
Cloneliness is next to godliness.
Oh.
Yeah, I did enjoy this one. I do like those introspective kind of stories. I like stories that make you think, and this one's pretty close to that.
Yeah.
I will say, like, sort of the how everything starts, the reason is kind of quick, but it's just like, get that out of the way to get to the rest of the story.
Yeah.
It was kind of, here it is. There it is. Okay.
There we go.
Keep going.
The other thing is, I would say also the ending feels a little abrupt.
It is a bit abrupt on the ending. So it's abrupt in the begining and abrupt on the end, but the middle.
There's just obviously a huge chance for this one to continue, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential for it to continue on with this, but yeah, it's just kind of interesting. Clones, who am I? Do I have to be like the original? All that stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, I liked it. You should go check it out. Again, only 20,000 words, so it's not very long. And there's no updates. Because, nothing really updated that recently. So that's it for fan content, which means we are at the end of this podcast episode. If you liked what you heard, you can find us at pony411.libsyn.com. Again, it's spelled LABSYN. All the episodes are there on an RSS feed and whatnot. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/pony411. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe there. There's, of course, iTunes, search for Pony411. You could also search for Pony411 on Google Play, which is play.google.com/music. There's Stitcher, stitcher.com, or the mobile apps. And there's, of course, ponyvillelive.com. You can search for us on there. Well, not search. You'll find us right there on the front. But you can also search if you want. I mean,
yeah, you can.
You can just search the page with your eyes. You'll find us eventually.
Look with your eyes, not with your hands.
Yeah. You could search with your hands if you're using a tablet.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's sort of how it works on our website.
And of course, there's also Ponyville FM, where we air every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, along with, a whole bunch of music and live DJs and all that stuff throughout the rest of the other 23 hours or so of a day and the rest of the week and all that stuff. If you want to contact us, you could do so via email, pony411podcast@gmail.com. Questions, comments, criticisms, submissions, all that stuff. You can do that there. We may not always reply to stuff, but we are paying attention, so don't worry.
We will see it, at least.
Yeah, at the very least one of us will see it. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/pony411. Like us there. New episodes pop up there all the time, if you want. And, of course, there's Twitter. We're at Pony411. That's where I usually say things. By the way, we just said it on there. We're going to BronyCon.
Yes, it is.
Barring any disasters.
Yeah, unforeseen circumstances.
Unforeseen consequences.
Prepare for unforeseen consequences. Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to BronyCon.
Bought, planes
we
booked.
got plane tickets and badges. We're just waiting for
hotels to go live and to figure that out.
So yeah, we're going to go to BronyCon. Maybe we'll see some of you there. Maybe not. I don't know. I know one of the listeners is definitely going to BronyCon, so that's that. Of course, there's our personal accounts. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. He's at Alcatraz with a 7 and 7T and an underscore at the end.
All I did was, 2018's gone.
Yeah. I've been doing more Transformers reviews and whatnot because I finally got some more stuff. Replacement figures and new figures. I got Diana Cavendish, and that makes me pretty happy. Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's us.
Sometimes I'll retweet one of my friends whenever they go live because I'm sort of streaming with them.
Yeah.
When we play Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Yep. Those personal Twitters and stuff. You can check them out if you want, I guess.
Yes. Do it.
Do it. Join us in a couple weeks. We'll be talking about more stuff then, whatever it is.
Whatever we've come up with.
Whatever it may be, and we'll keep going until whenever we stop. But
until someone makes us stop or we absolutely run out.
But until then, though, please pony responsibly, guys. See ya.
See ya.